Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, starting chapter 18. Tooth Town's door returns us to the hinterlands, and it's a short jog over the 3 hills to the holiday grove. There, Scorched, Luna, and I find that the pumpkin doorway is at last just right. Not too old, not too new. It's perfectly from the present. It's perfectly from the present. 3 steps from us through the doorway into a gill of swirling autumn leaves, rich with the smell of fresh baked scorpion muffins. My feet can't move fast enough down the winding path through the cornfields until I throw open the town gates. My breath ghosts out of my lungs, clouding the chilly air. They're all here. Town hall is still set up with the welcome banner for the Halloween exposition. Though it's covered in fallen leaves from the 2 days since we've been gone, the townspeople slowly stammer out into the front steps, shaking their heads, casting hazy fawns up towards the moon. The holiday town ambassadors mingle among them, eyes slightly glassy. The creature under the stairs bumps into a pumpkin display, sending the gourds rolling across the square. The pumpkins knock the clown with a tearaway face off balance, and his unicycle crashes into the nearest wooden barrel full of Halloween candy, which creates a cascading effect as it trips over into the next barrel, which falls into the next, and the next. The barrels splinter and candy carpets the square. Crunching under the baffled townsfolk's shoes, the mayor's grimace face spins from one side to the other as he totters first one way and then another, finally clutching into the wolfman as he points a trembling finger towards the Halloween countdown clock, which is cocked off. Crooked after confused bats flew into it. 3 days until Halloween. How can that be right? The wolfman scratches his chin and growls. I could have sworn we had more time till Halloween. Much more time, a vampire interjects. Oh, my woolly friend, it's just awful feeling of deja vu. The mayor slaps his hand to each side of his face, wailing. He collapses against the welcome banner, which tangles in his tall hat and comes crashing down as he flails against it. Scorched nostrils flare in warning. What is happening to them? They're confused, I reply slowly, from all the time hopping from their perception Only moments have passed since Luna and I disappeared, and now, suddenly, time has jumped forward 2 days. They have no way of knowing that the entire town traveled into an ancient past, then the distant future, before resetting itself. Grand Bunny, the Easter Bunny ambassador, trips on one of the escaped pumpkins and crashes into the dirt, and I know I have to intercede? Yeah, that word's intercede. Come on, I take Luna by the hand and Scorch by the wing, and we come thrusting ourselves into the bewildered crowd. Tom Sparkler moves aside for us, tilting his head like he has no memory on his head, like there's a memory on the tip of his tongue he can't quite capture. Finally, Behemoth moves Grand Bunny's wheelbarrow aside to help her, standing, and as the crowd parts, I see Jack. He pivots at the same time, and our gaze locks for a brief moment. Time stops. Every crackled leaf in my chest warms and swells, and before I know it, we've closed the distance between us. His bony fingers map the curves of my face, as if making sure I'm real. A cluster of dry leaves catches in my throat. I flutter my touch over his jawbone, his bat bow tie, each of his bumpy knuckles, my husband, my friend, my king. The fathomless pit of Jack's eyes draw me into their orbs like black holes that I never want to escape from. Sally, Jack starts softly with a trace of confusion. You're back. You disappeared through a vortex only a moment ago. At least I think it was a moment ago. He touches the back stitches on my wrist, which were always deep sea blue until Luna lent me strands of her own yarn hair to repair them. I have the strangest sensation that time has gone topsy-turvy. Oh, Jack, time is exactly where it should be. At least a relieved sob bursts out of my mouth as I bury my face against his chest. For him, hardly a fleeting moment has passed, but I traveled entire worlds during that time. I traveled to the past, peered into the future, completed a quest, befriended a dragon, discovered my scary side, and I did it all so I could stand here right now and kiss my husband. I cradle the perfect curves of his skull with my linen hands. I missed you so much, it missed me. His brows dipped, his mind still foggy, as he smooths the tangled strands of my crimson hair off my forehead. A curious grin cracks his face. Why do I have the feeling that you know precisely what is going on, and that my clever wife has saved the day once more? I knowingly smile. A knowing smile tugs the stitches along my cheeks. Luna and Scorch are surrounded by the curious townspeople and ambassadors who ooh and ah over Scorch's flickering tail fire. Already, this misplaced dragon is a celebrity here, embraced by a world of monsters. Jack's focus jumps to Scorch as his eye sockets widen. Is that a dragon? I gently turn his skull until his attention is back on me. It is. I have so much to tell you, Jack, but first I push up to my tiptoes. There's something I've been dying to do. I bring my lips to meet his. The kiss is thrilling and tender and bewitching and heartwarming. His broomstick arms draw me in close against his pinstripe suit. My chest swells, filling his heartbeat echo against my own. His hemlock tea smell is wonderful, familiar like home. I want to stop time right now, stop time right here, in this magic moment, to exist forever in the circle of Jack's arms, knowing my town is safe, our future together, whatever form it may take, is within reach. I can do it too, locking the moment in eternity with my hands clasped behind Jack's neck. I flick the dial on Father Time's wristwatch. Is all it would take. My fingers trace the clock in a slow circle, tempted, but I move my hand to Jack's cheeks instead. Why would I want a single perfect moment with Jack when I can have so many moments with him? Perfect and imperfect alike as the stars in the skies. A star in the sky. Stars in the sky. God, swear to God. The townspeople and the ambassadors' uncanny sense of deja vu, along with the missing 2 days, deserves an explanation. Jack and I usher everyone into town hall, where I recount the tale of the town's accidental time travel adventure. The townspeople hang on my every word as on stage Luna and Scorch act out our harrowing journey through lands of ticking clocks, fairy tale quests, and thieving pixies. The only part I omit is the mysterious cloaked prince with a vendetta against our holiday. Instead, I tell them Luna and I simply messed up the sweet dream potion, or sweet dream spell, and that somehow the Halloween clock broke. It's a lie, but as queen, I need to investigate this further before unleashing panic on my town. Besides, seeing Scorch as a celebrity, I don't want to ruin that by telling them his role in it. Remarkable, one witch sister declares at the end of my tale. Extraordinary, the other agrees with a bobbing head. The townspeople clap for us, and we bow and nod with the flushed smiles of accidental heroes. Except heroes don't stumble into valiant deeds. They look at their challenges head on and say, yes, we could have given up. The quest was uncertain, treacherous, and yet, if faced with all of it again, I would say yes a million times over. Jack, standing in the wing, touches his rib cage over his heart and then extends his finger towards me in a sign of love. I need water. My mouth is dry. Alive again. I just turned back towards the crowd when I see a tear slide down Scorch's face. Scorch, there's no reason for tears, I exclaimed. You're a hero, a real hero. He shakes his head as he wipes away another streaming tear with one long claw. Scorch wishes that were true. I fond fingers knitting together. He clutches the strip of his satchel, anxious. Scorch stole Lady Lore's mirror, and you'll return it, of course, with an apology as soon as you can. That is not all Scorch has done wrong. Still, distraught. He clears a puff of smoke from his throat and addresses the crowd. Queen Sally left out one part of the story. None of this would have happened if Scorch hadn't tried to stop Halloween. The townspeople murmur uncertainly against themselves. Their shifting bodies sway like trees before a storm hits. I rest a hand on Scorch's back, standing tall beside him. Before the crowd gets out of control, I add, what Scorch said is true. He played a role in everything going wrong, mistakenly believing that stopping our holiday would make him a hero. After spending time with him, however, I can assure you that his heart is that of a hero. He has already traded one of his own fangs to secure the forever glass. We all have made mistakes. We're all a work in progress, just like this town. I sweep a hand towards the mess of broken barrels and appended pumpkins outside. But one thing I know for certain is that each of us belongs here. Ragdoll, Skellington, honored guests. I pat Scorch's glistening scales and dragon. Let's give Scorch an opportunity to make further amends. After a few minutes of debate, the townspeople agree that Scorch's penance will be to clean up the mess that resulted from all the time hopping. Scorch is only too happy to be useful. Eagerness filling his amber eyes, and the chance to atone. His big claws easily scoop up the fallen pumpkins and restack them. A few beats of his wing blows the scattered candy into a tidy pile. Luna pitches in to help them with a witch's broom, and then I divvy up tasks among the remaining residents. If there's one thing I've learned from Father Time, it's that a town will only work if everyone pitches in. A haunted tree lifts up. The haunted tree lifts up among Buttercup so she can rehang the fallen banner. Wewin and Mr. Hyde work together to straighten the fence that turned crooked in the chaos. Even Lock, Shock, and Barrel gather wood from the broken barrels to stack into a pile. Once the work is done, I dust off my hands, heart singing to see our town back to its normal, creepy, crawly self. Jack wraps an arm around my back as Behemoth and the mare glance up at the crooked countdown clock. Zero flies up to use his pumpkin nose to flies up and uses the pumpkin tip of his nose to straighten it. 3 days till Halloween, I read on the countdown timer. Not a lot of time to prepare. Don't worry, Sally. Jack gives me a wink. I'd say time is precisely as it should be, thanks to you. As I lean my head on his shoulder, I feel my heartbeat play its steady drum against his bones. Its only internal, its own internal clock tick, tick, tick. With each pulse, my pride for this town grows. I wasn't certain I would ever feel like I truly belonged here, even when they crowned me the Pumpkin Queen. I still feel fractured, pulled, and wearing directions like my vision of the ragdoll figurine and the cuckoo clock. My limbs stitched together from different worlds, but now that I'm here, the right place, the right time, I've never been more certain that it's home. Scorch, will you do the honors? I tip my chin towards the pile of broken barrels. With a flourish of his tail fire, the dragon lights the wood pyre. As it catches, it throws out cozy heat. As soon as the town people and visitors alike gather around the bonfire with mugs of cranberry tea and rustle of laughter, the undersea girl gives Scorch a sugar slime muffin, which disappears down his throat in one swallow. I guess that missing tooth doesn't slow you down, I point out. His floppy black tongue presses against the missing tooth gap. Scorch doesn't miss it at all. Jack lifts a finger to the air, and I dare say, my friend, you look all the fiercer this way, truly battle-worn. Scorch gives a one-fanged grin that once lopsided, even more lopsided than usual. At his side, Luna curls up with his violet soft belly scales as her pillow, and after a long yawn, her eyes sink closed. I don't know what her dreams hold, but I'm certain they're sweet. Jack and Scorch and I continue to watch the townspeople and visitors around the bonfire, swapping tales of their own adventures until late into the night. I see how your fire brings everyone together, Scorch, I murmur, gazing at the flickering light. There are so many ways to be a hero. Sometimes it's simply creating a warm fire to gather around. And if I could turn a page. There's no answer. Well, make sure they're around. Yeah, okay. There's no answer. When I glance over, I discover the dragon has fallen asleep too, his long neck resting in Luna's lap, his tail fire a safe distance from her tender, dry body. I tilt my head towards Jack in a whisper. I suggest Scorch fits in here, don't you think? Jack's raven eyes sockets twitch as his bony forehead leans against mine. He does indeed. Thinking. Are you thinking, as Pumpkin King and Queen, we could coexist formally in. Hang on. A formal invitation to have him join us in Halloween Town. He doesn't like to scare air, Jack points out, though not unkindly. What? Will that be a problem? You're up to your jawbones in scares. Oh, we're up to our jawbones in scares. What we really need is a trustworthy resident to stay here during the holiday to watch over the town and the little monsters who are too small to go to the human world. Jack rests a long finger on his chin in thought. Isn't that your role, Sally? You always stayed behind on Halloween. That's true. For most Halloween, I was locked in Dr. Finkelstein's house. Last year, I rushed hither and thither to handle everything behind the scenes, babysitting the town's children while their parents were off scaring, tending the jack-o'-lanterns to make sure their candles didn't blow out, tidying up the mess left from the preparations, brewing nettle tea for when the yawning scares return. But I've learned that even queens must ask for help sometimes. I can't be everything to everyone. There simply isn't time or a place for that. I can only be Sally, which means I have to pull back the curtain from my own mind and ask myself what I want. Well, I take Jack's hand in mine. I thought I would join in the Halloween scares this year. There's a first time for everything. Besides, as Pumpkin Queen, I should be the best scarer of them all, don't you think? You might be surprised to see how frightening your wife can be. For dramatic effect, I step back as the breeze blowing down the alley catches my hair, sending it into a writhing snake-like locks. I stretch the seams of my cheeks into a ghoulish, haunting grimace and let out the mourn that sent a dragon quaking down to his paws. Jack staggers 3 steps backwards, startled and entranced. Yeah, that's entranced. His jaw opens so far it's practically unhinges when he finally finds the words to exclaim, "My beautiful bride, I didn't think I could love you more." If I could turn a page, damn. Yet here you are, yet here you are tying my heart in knots, talented, kind, and frightening. He throws his arms around my waist and plants a kiss on the tip of my nose. How did I get so lucky? I glance up at him through my spider leg eyelashes. The east wing of Dr. Finkelstein's residence is empty for the next 99 years. Since it's made of stone that can't burn, it's the perfect home for a dragon. I'm sure Jewel and Igor won't mind sharing such a large house. Across the square, Cattle Shamrock pulls out his fiddle, and together with the resident band strikes up a melody. The townspeople's feet are so tapping are soon tapping. Granny Bunny dances with the tallest vampire. Tinsel takes a spin with Undersea Gal. I feel grateful. Tears spring to my eyes. This is exactly what I always hoped for. Harmony, friendship, not to mention a wicked fun time. Jack extends his hands to me. May I have this dance, Sally? I happily clasp his waiting finger bones, which fit so perfectly into mine. In the past, present, or future, Jack, I will always dance with you. Beneath the stars, we waltz to the music of our heartbeats, our shadows swaying along beside us. Like the night itself yearns to join. With every step, the beautifully possible future I saw in Lady Savannah's Serafina Lore's mirror seemed that much closer. Why does she have to have such a damn hard name? Lifetimes together, dancing like this, bringing fresh new scares to every Halloween. I glance my hand on his strong shoulder as I feel my cheeks warm. Do you remember the game we played on Dreamtown Bridge, catching the dandelion seeds, counting our future adventures? He says with a twinkle in his eye socket. How could I forget? I interlace my fingers with his in a way that reminds me of the roots of two ancient trees finally growing together. Lady Serafina Lore showed me three possible futures. One, I was the Pumpkin Queen. One, in Dreamtown's governor. And in the last, I saw simple Sally, who sometimes sat at home with tea, sometimes ruling a holiday town, and sometimes goes adventuring with her dear husband. He cups my cheeks and searches the depth of my eyes with infinite possibilities, or infinite patience. Got him. Yeah. What are you saying, my dear? I'm saying that I've lived my life based on what other people want from me, but now I'm ready to do what I want. He smooths his hands down the length of my crimson hair, and all I want, my dear Sally, is a future with you in whatever shape we decide on together. My chest feels so full it could burst into bats, take wing, and fly all the way to the gleaming moon and beyond. Finally, I know where I belong, right here, simply Sally. That is the end of chapter 18. We start chapter 19 later. I hope you all enjoyed. See you next time. Goodbye.
Farewell.